I'm Jay and welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we talk about all things lifestyle, health, and wellness. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you can stay up to date with all of my new content and when I post new videos. Let's jump right on in. So welcome to 2024. It is a new year, same old me. And so I just wanted to do a quick update or a quick video just to kind of give an update on life lately, because I don't know about y'all, but for me, like the first month of 2024 just been a hassle. I don't even know if hassle is the right word, but it wasn't like the fresh start, new year, new me experience that I would have hoped for. It's been some struggles, it's been some storms, it's been some setbacks. And so anyway, am just gonna do a life update video, especially for those that's following my channel and following my journey with dermatomyositis. That's probably been the biggest point of contingency for me. But yeah, so let's just jump right on in. I would say the biggest update or difference is that my hair is short again. So I'm back on the short hair committee. Not by choice though, like my hair fell out again. At the end of December, I was combing my hair one day and it was just coming out in clumps again, which was so frustrating because just 2 months ago when I was in Houston, my hair had grown so much that I had a full little pineapple puff, and I felt like, oh yeah, my hair is getting back to what it used to be, and then boom, it just started falling out again. And so I just had my mom cut it short because I didn't want to go through the whole experience of just every time I comb my hair, it's clumps coming out. I just like, let's just cut it short. And so I think the first time my hair fell out when I first got diagnosed with dermatomyositis, it was definitely due to scalp inflammation. Like there were just big bald spots all over my scalp. I don't have that now. Right now it's just thinning. And I really do think it's because I'm weaning myself off of steroids, and I read that that was a side effect if you've been on steroids for a long time. But nevertheless, no matter what the reason that the hair is coming out, it's annoying that the hair is coming out. It's like, I thank God for my perfectly rounded head so that I can rock a short, look. But at the same time, it's just like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I feel like I'm taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. And so, yes, that was very frustrating. And then I would probably say the other thing that had been frustrating as far as my health is the rash. So dermatomyositis, for those that don't know, if this is your first time watching any of my videos, it is a skin and muscle disease, and it's autoimmune. And so the rash has definitely been attacking my skin like crazy. I remember one day I woke up and I felt like somebody had just thrown acid all over my knuckles. And I was just like, what's happening? And I'm looking closer and I realized that the rash is like starting to ulcerate. So the type of dermatomyositis that I have, which is MDA5, is associated with like the ulcerating type of rash where it'll be like basically like wounds on your hands. It's how it feels. And so I, for the first few weeks of this year, that's what was happening on my hands. It was just like on my knuckles, redness and ulcerations on my hand. Like you see there's a little spot there. It's getting a little better, but this has been painful. So all of that has been miserable. And I'm like, I have experienced the rash with dermatomyositis before, but not ulcerating. So I'm like, this is starting to be too much. Now the hair coming out, now the hand is ulcerated. Like, how much am I gonna be able to take? And I wore this shirt so I could kind of show y'all what it's like, what the rash is like. Like right here is a little small area of rash. It looks just kind of discolored, but when this first popped up, it was like red and it hurt. But now it's just kind of looking discolored. And then my back is probably the worst. If y'all can see all the little spots on my back, that's basically from anywhere where my bra is or touches. It just creates an area of hyperpigmentation. So what's on my back doesn't hurt, but it just look a mess. So like if I want to go to Miami with my back out, this is what's going to be showing. So I mean, maybe over time it will probably fade, but until then, it just, in my opinion, looks a mess. So that have all been frustrating the first few weeks of this month, just dealing with, with that, because I had started seeing a functional medicine doctor at the end of last year, very end of last year, like the last week of December. And I was just so hopeful that everything he was going to put me on was going to turn things around. And in some ways, it definitely has helped. But your body, especially when you start a new regimen, is going to respond to that new regimen. And in this case, I feel like everything just kind of got worse, especially with the rash, before it's getting better. And so that's just been frustrating. And so I'm just like, one thing after the next, just of frustrations or what I see as setbacks has been a little bit disheartening, because I was just like, he put me on this new diet, he started me on this new med, he put me on these supplements. Like, baby, I'm finna be back to jumping and jiving. And it's like, no, it's all a process. And so anyway, I appreciate working with the functional medicine doctor. I think if you do have an autoimmune disorder, functional medicine is something you should definitely look into, so that you're not on so many harmful pharmaceuticals. But at the same time, just knowing any new regimen you start, especially when it comes to autoimmune disorders, but just in life in general, is going to be a process. Nothing works overnight, and things just simply might get worse before they get better. And so I've been trying to be kind to myself and remind myself of that, because I'm not gonna lie, I was in a funk for a couple of weeks, because I was just like, this is a lot. My hair and the rash, and I'm just annoyed. Like, I was just annoyed. And so I did want to say, one of the new medicines that the functional medicine doctor put me on is a medicine called low dose naltrexone. This is actually used for people who are battling opioid addictions, but in low doses, it can be used in those with autoimmune disorders to help regulate the immune response and decrease inflammation. For me, this drug has been very helpful. Like, I literally took it for 2 days and I didn't even have any more like joint pain. I was, prior to this, like always having some level of joint pain. And so it's a really beneficial drug in autoimmune disorders. But what's crazy about it is regular like rheumatologists and stuff will not prescribe this. Like, my functional medicine doctor prescribed this, and retail pharmacies do not carry this. You have to get this medicine from a compounded pharmacy, because they have to make it into the low dose, because it's naltrexone, but in a low dose. And so it's almost like a secret, which I don't like. What if I couldn't afford functional medicine? And so, this isn't a steroid, this isn't an immunosuppressant or anything like that. It actually works on your body's own immune modulators, so that they work in tandem with each other, and then you decrease inflammation. So it's kind of like helping your body heal itself. I'd rather that than steroids and immunosuppressants. But why wouldn't my rheumatologist say anything about this? So anyway, I ain't gonna go into all that, but as of right now, it's definitely been helpful to me. I take 1 tab every day, and I've been able to wean my steroids, my daily steroid dose. So like right now I only take 8 milligrams a day, and I was on 20. So that's been helpful. And then I do IVIG infusions every 4 weeks, and that's it. I'm not on any other medicines. And I just, of course, am on a very restrictive diet. But other than that, yes, the rash is a mess. Yes, my hair is falling out. But I think my hair is falling out because I'm weaning prednisone. That is a side effect of weaning your prednisone. And I've been on it for so long. But like I said, for me, working with functional medicine has been eye-opening. I've learned a lot about my body. But also just looking at things from a different perspective, because our bodies can heal themselves. It takes a lot of work, but you also got to know what you're working with, and just baseline testing won't do that. Sometimes you got to dig a little bit deeper. So if you can do functional medicine and you yourself are battling with an autoimmune disorder or really anything, and you feel like your regular docs have kind of just been pacifying the situation with medications, it may be something worth looking into. It's definitely helped me, but like I said, I think I'm just kind of in that stage where everything gets worse before it gets better, so that's kind of frustrating. And so anyway, I said all that to say I still am believing God for total healing. I'm still believing God for a breakthrough. I was on Bible study one day, and this young man had got on there, and they was talking about storms and how God is a pruning process, and you build endurance and all these things. But anyway, he got on there and said something that kind of stuck with me. He said that when we talk about breakthrough is actually 2 words, break and through. And so you have to first break and surrender it all to God, give it to God, let him take control, because at the end of the day, we're not in control of our own lives. We're just not. It's God. God is in control. And so the break is the surrender, giving it back to God, because too often we trying to control everything and we wonder why we're stressed and why we're frustrated. It's because You're not meant to even harbor all this. Give it to God. So the break is the surrender, and then the through is the storm and the pruning process. There is no shortcut to process. If you're doing it God's way, please know that you're going to go through some stuff. And I've had to remind myself of that because I'm like, now I heard found that. And I know I can get into like a complaint fest, and it doesn't help anything. But, I just be like so ready to get past this. But the truth of the matter is, dermatomyositis is a lifelong disease. I'm just trying to cure it, But they say it ain't no cure, they say. So the truth of the matter is, this is a lifelong journey. And so, and I'm just like, I'm ready to get past this. I'm tired of this. I'm blah, blah, blah. But like I said, if you're doing it God's way, please know that you're going to go through some stuff. But he's going to go through it with you. And with his strength, you'll come out on the other side better and more blessed and more prepared. And so, when that guy said that about breakthrough being 2 words, the surrender and then the going through, it just kind of shifted my perspective, because at first I didn't have a very positive perspective. But it was just a good reminder that you gonna go through some stuff. Like, it's part of the pruning process, and it's just part of the process in general. God still has a blessing for you. He still has healing for you. He still has harvest for you. But you gonna go through some stuff to make sure you're ready for all that he has for you. And so if you have been anything like me these first few weeks of 2024, this first month, and you just like, it's one thing after. Because I feel like a lot of people been going through. It ain't just me. I've been going through my own stuff, but it's a lot of people that's been going through stuff that's in my direct circle or family or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, everybody going through something. Just remember that God haven't forgotten about you. He's still there with you. And it's just part of the process. There is no workaround to process. And how do we build endurance? How do we build character? Going through stuff. And so, your stuff might not look like my stuff. My stuff might not look like your stuff. But just know, breakthrough is still coming. But you got to surrender all control back to God, where it belongs anyway. And then just trust him through the process of going through. Because, that's just part of life. And so, anyway, I just feel like we got to confront our fears with faith. You can't see, like for me right now, I don't see how I'm going to get this thing under control, this disease, but I have faith that it will happen. And so that's just kind of how you got to show up when that fear, and you're like, oh my God, I'm nervous. This is just, I'm having to cut my hair now, my rash, blah, blah, whatever. Just when fear come knocking, let faith answer the door. That's the best encouragement I have. Because at the end of the day, it's only month 1. We got 11 more months. So you got to have some type of foundation, or else this going to be a rough year. And so that's just the reminder that I'm trying to give everybody. Like I said, I don't know how y'all first month been, but I had to remind myself of all of that. Like, let me make sure I got a firm foundation in faith, because God just getting started, baby. He really is. And so anyway, a little bit of good news though. I have still been working on my cookbook. Through working with the functional medicine doctor, he put me on an autoimmune paleo diet. So I had to come up with like newer recipes and all these different things. And so I've been putting that in my cookbook. I'm about 30% done, which means I have a long way to go. But I do have, a good amount of the recipes photographed and typed up and all that for the book. So I am still actively working on it. But I even felt like at one point I was putting too much pressure on myself with that. Like, you need to hurry up and do the book and blah, blah, and take pictures. And it was just like, nope. The cookbook is supposed to be a fun experience for me. And like I said, as I'm coming up with new recipes, because I'm actively using these recipes to help heal myself, then I'll throw them in the book. And so anyway, I'm proud of the little 30%. Because let me tell y'all right now, taking pictures of food in a way that make it look good, I ain't went to no school or nothing for that. So this has been a challenge. But like I said, I'm about 30% done. And then another little piece of good news. Last week, I got my first Daisy Award as a nurse. And so for those that aren't familiar, a Daisy Award is just something that, it's like a badge of honor. I look at it as that. But a patient or a family can nominate you for a Daisy Award just based on the care that you provided and things like that. And so that was good news that I needed after just a rough few weeks. Getting that Daisy Award was definitely, it put a smile on my face. So that was cool. And so anyway, I'm just saying, hang in there, y'all. Like I said, I just want to do a quick life update. But for me, life been lifing. For you, I hope it ain't been as rough. But if you do run into some hardships, just remember, you know, if you ain't dead, then God ain't done. So as long as you still waking up, you got air in your lungs, blood in your body, activity in your limbs, you got to get to work and you got to keep on pushing. Now, I will say, for me, one of the self-care things I like to do is color. And so when I had to first cut my hair off, I got my coloring book out and I colored this lady who is kind of a representation of me. I'm still working on it. I'm not done with it yet, but she does have her Gucci shades on and her blue hair. And if you know me, baby, I will throw some color in my hair and, of course, Gucci, yes. So, anyway, self-care is always top of the list, no matter what you're going through. But I like this coloring book. I was going to say cookbook. It's called Color Like a Boss. You can actually order this off Amazon. But all the girls in the coloring book have shortcuts. And so, I've had this for a while, so a lot of these I've already colored. But, ladies, if you're looking for a good coloring book, this is definitely a good one. But I love it. I've colored a lot of sheets in here, but I felt like that little blue-haired lady I just showed y'all is representative of me right now. Just embracing every step of this process with this dermatomyositis. Whether I got a head full of hair, short hair, baby, I'm going to rock it, and I'm going to look good, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to have faith. And I'm going to try not to complain. Now, that's easier said than done. This one is cute, too. So, anyway, said all that to say, now that I've been going through all this, I need to buy me something nice. So I'm going to buy me another bag. I just got that bag. I'm sorry. If I've been going through, I got to buy me something nice. So my next video is going to be an unboxing. So just stay tuned to see what I get. I already know what I want, but hopefully they got it when I go to the store. So anyway, I said all that to say, hang in there, y'all. Blessings are still on the way. 2024 is still going to be our best year yet, even though it kind of started off a little rough, you know, at least for me. Started off a little rough, but we are more than conquerors, baby. So keep on keeping on. Comment below how your 2024 been so far, or just drop some encouragement. We all a family here. Just drop some encouragement. Sometimes people just need a little reminder to keep on pushing. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.